our attendees and viewers watching us live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. A very warm welcome to the Author Saga series. A quick recap for those of you who are new to Pick a Book. Pick a Book is all about reading and more reading and inculcating the habit of reading, research, and presenting the summary of it in our regular meeting sessions. Creating a better world by changing the sense of self through the habit of reading is a vision of Pick a Book. Currently, Pick a Book marked its inspiring presence in four countries: Sri Lanka, India, Singapore, and UK, with over 1,200 plus readers, 19 regions, and 100,000 plus people inspired so far through our sessions in a span of 1.5 years. So while Pick a Book continues to spread its wings across the globe, we have come up with this beautiful initiative, a brand of our own called Author Saga series, wherein authors can reach their readers and individuals with like minded interests. Authors can also discuss the key insights of their books, and the readers can have this wonderful opportunity to know more about the a book from the author himself. So, today, without much waiting, let's invite our guest, the author of this wonderful book, The Insignificant Soul, Abhishek Chaturvedi. So, very warm welcome, Mr. Abhishek.
Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Yeah. So,
Pleasure to be
ladies
here.
and gentlemen, thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to know a little more about Abhishek Chaturvedi. He is a first time author, a regular contributor to leading defense journals and blogs. He's a passionate writer and a motivational speaker. He is regularly invited by the educational institutions to interact and guide the youth. Abhishek is a proud Indian soldier and specializes in anti terrorist operations and commando techniques, and has trained soldiers from across the world. A fitness enthusiast and a long distance runner, he is a chronic animal lover. He shares a platonic relation with his pet dog, Murphy. So once again, very warm welcome, Abhishek Chaturvedi. We are very proud to have an army officer and also an
Thank you.
author with us tonight.
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you so much.
Yeah. So first of all, from my side and the entire Pick a Book fraternity, we would like to congratulate you on the success of this wonderful book, and we wish you a long way in writing.
Thank you. Thank you indeed.
Okay. Okay. So with my first question, I want to know: are you an avid reader, right from your young age?
Well, I will not claim that right from my childhood I had been an avid reader. No, but yes, after I joined the armed forces,
Hmm.
uh, I developed interest into reading and writing both.
Okay.
And as one progresses and in life, the initial liking became a habit, and I
Okay.
enjoyed reading. And
Okay.
luckily, I read books from across the section.
Okay.
So now, definitely, I cannot. On a personal note, I cannot sleep unless I read something at least at 2 4 pages. Then again, it depends on the timings,
Yeah.
where I'm posted, what
Mhm.
are my commitments, uh, my accessibility to a usual routine normal life. It
True.
all depends on that. But yes, I love reading, definitely.
Wonderful. Great to know that. Okay. So, how did your journey as a writer start? So when did you find that spark in you that yes, you want to write a book?
See, as you had mentioned, uh, we do get an opportunity in our organization to contribute
Okay.
with professional journals and articles in various defense magazines.
Okay.
Uh, but if you talk about my journey, I vividly remember when I was a child, in maybe ninth or 10th class. That is the
Okay.
time I had once or twice written a very small, short poem or article in Hindi newspapers in Bhopal.
Okay.
But that thing, that was the end of the story as far as thinking about writing was concerned. But yes, then, as I progressed in my career in the armed forces,
Hmm.
I started writing for some of the leading journals of the Indian Army.
Okay.
And initially, yes, it was rejected a couple of times. But
Okay.
then I saw the light of success, and they were published. Now,
Okay.
as far as writing a book per se is concerned, it was, I won't say, it was not by chance. It was something I started because I didn't have anything else to do. Let me be frank about it.
Okay.
I was posted in a God-forsaken place,
Okay.
Kargil, you all have heard of.
Oh yeah.
So I was sitting atop a post at the 18,000 feet, which was, blocked for next 6 months because of heavy snow and shelling.
Okay.
And we had nothing to do there, and we had no access to basic amenities. The
Oh.
only thing that we had was 20 minutes of generator light in the evening. So I started writing in that generator, writing, let me write something. It
Okay.
carried on and on. By the time the uh, peaks opened, the snow melted, I had finished half my book. And then when I came down, I gave it a shape.
Okay.
And to be honest, this book was written good about 6, 7, 8 years back.
Ah.
But then I would say I shammed it out. I did not show much. I did not push it.
Mm.
Circumstantially, I was posted in such places where I could not have thought about these things.
Okay.
So when I got the first opportunity, I
Mm.
gave it a first shape, and I thought, let me, if I've written something, why not bring it to public domain? Maybe you never know.
Yeah.
Uh, People would be able to relate to it, and that's how
Exactly.
it started, and it's going to continue forever.
Awesome. So that was wonderful. The very own fact that you have written, in the Kargil, such a historical place itself has some kind of vibe to it. So that itself created a very good memory. And yes, of course, yeah. So we never know what inspires at any person. Something can inspire somebody.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
great.
definitely, definitely.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so would you like to tell me, why this particular name, the insignificant soul, but then the in is kept in braces, especially. So
Yeah.
why is that, the in this word is not given importance, or is it given extra importance, or how is it?
Yes. See, I have always done being a soldier, a
Hmm.
serving soldier.
Okay.
I do things impromptu, right?
Yeah.
We don't have time to think in life as a
True.
soldier.
True.
So this thing came to my mind to put this name. The reason why in insignificant
Mm.
is insignificant because it doesn't deserve any significance. I mean the insignificance. Well, coming to the point, see, everybody in this world, whosoever comes,
Mm-hmm.
is significant in some or the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Till you accept it, world will try and push you towards insignificance if your starting journey has not been very good. That
Okay.
is why, that is how the journey of my character Kabir
Mm-hmm.
started.
Okay.
Everybody thought he's insignificant, he can do nothing in life. People were just trying to pull him down like those crabs in the well. So,
Okay.
most of us may not fit into the worldly parameters,
Yes.
but the uniqueness with each one of us exists, and it is
Exactly.
irreversible. And
Yeah.
it is the experiences that shape the personality and destiny of each one of us. And this is how the destiny of Kabir also
Mm.
shaped up. And he started as an insignificant person, went on for quite some time against his will. People were trying to, push it in his head that you are useless. But
Mm.
then at every step, he proved that no, I'm significant. Please don't force it to me. And that's how I deliberately put in the brackets so that
Okay.
people can remember he was insignificant as per them, but no longer.
No longer. Wonderful. Awesome. I just loved it. Yeah. Yeah. It was quite nice to hear that insignificant seriously doesn't hold any sense. Everybody is unique in their own way. Wonderful.
Exactly.
I definitely going to use this in my normal life.
Yeah,
Great. Wonderful to
definitely.
know that. Okay. So, what is the focus of your novel? You know, as the storyline is quite delicate, like a child struggling with different circumstances or situations in his life. So
Yeah.
thus making a mark for himself. So what is that you want to focus or teach? I mean, tell the audience through this book.
Yes. See, once again, I would say, being a soldier, most of my thinking
Mm-hmm.
starts from the inbuilt soldierly qualities that I have imbibed right from childhood. My
Mm-hmm.
thought process is like that. Now it is
Okay.
just that it has been converted into a book, but
Mm.
the thought process and the attitude remains the same. So
Okay.
as far as the focus is concerned, my focus is actually just one.
Okay.
Uh, there are no excuses in life, right?
Absolutely.
You have to fight your own battles. Just like there are no runners up in war, there's no first and second position. There are no excuses in life. So nobody should give importance to various excuses that are posed in front of the person.
Mm.
It could be emotional excuses, financial constraints, it could be anything. You
Yeah.
want to fight your battle, don't accept the excuses and bash on regardless. See, circumstances will be extraordinary for each one of us.
Yeah.
God has sent us here, which means there would be challenges, there would be struggles.
Mm.
Some would start seeing those challenges right from beginning, some would see at later stage.
Yeah.
So the earlier you fight those circumstances and get out as a winner, the better it is. Everyone can mold their lives based on the circumstances. The choices are yours. You want to see your circumstances, negative circumstances, as an excuse and keep lying down whole your life, or you want to kick them out and push your way ahead. So I want to focus this that Kabir had possibly every odd in this world, whether it was emotional, financial, parental, societal, everything. But he never accepted those. He said, so what? I mean, these cannot pull me down. So he
Yeah.
continued regardless of that.
Great. So good. So good. So yeah, so you're the hero of the story, Kabir, is like is going to be an inspiring person for a lot of people, I guess. So the storyline started off very well. So let's see what it takes going further. Do you really think that emotional stability depends on the kinds of structures that are already built in the society, like ideal family, ideal parents, big institution, education, or it's a personality of a person which comes into effect?
See, everything has a role to play on your
Hmm.
psyche, on your personality. I will not say that emotional instability
Okay.
or all kind of constraints and challenges will not have an effect on your personality. They will definitely have. But
Hmm.
it is the personal, each one of us capability to embrace the uncertainty,
Okay.
accept the painful emotions,
Hmm.
and lower your expectations. I always say how far you reach in life is important. See, we all are running like rats today.
Oh,
It is
yes.
not how far you reach, it is your journey from where you started, where you took your graph, that is equally important.
Yes.
So if you are able to accept the challenges, you are able to embrace the emotions, you are able to prioritize your values over your feelings, then I think it is the individual, it is us as individuals who are going to structure your life and destiny. Emotional stability, it will only help you, but it cannot be an excuse uh,
Hmm.
uh, you know uh, not to face the challenges. So
Yes.
ultimately it's up to you. You want to fight it out, yes, there will be emotions, there will be negatives, but no issues, you can always get out of it.
Super. Great. Okay, so what is your inspiration? Like whatever the role of a Kabir, is it somewhere inspired through your own life, or is it totally a fictional character born out of your mind?
Well, again, to be honest, uh, yes, it is inspired by my own life.
Okay.
There's no doubt about it. But you talk about the real inspiration behind writing this.
Hmm.
It's my mother, you know, because if my life has compelled me to write this,
Hmm.
it is definitely emerging out of coming out of my mother's life.
Okay.
So it is she whose journey, a tough journey, motivated me
Hmm.
to bring the events onto the page.
Okay.
Then, my own journey, as I said, it was full of turbulences, yet eventful, satisfying, and challenges. So, I personally speaking, I mean, without being verbose, it fascinated me because most of us, I would say, in middle class families, I would even say lower middle class family in India, can relate to it. They would relate to the journey of Kabir in some of the other phases. They would relate to it.
Definitely. So, from what the conversation we are having so far, I am sure everybody has some sort of Kabir in them for sure. So,
Yes.
this book is going to be a great reveal for all of them how to carry forward that Kabir in you to be a new self. So wonderful. Okay, so I mean, if you just want to reveal a bit of your about your book to our audience, so what do you think in this book is a game changer?
Game changer. There were two game changers, I would say, in
Mm-hmm.
life of Kabir. I would say,
Mm-hmm.
you know, his initial journey as a child was very troublesome.
Hmm.
So the first game changer was definitely when he got through against all odds and made it uh, to the folds of Indian Army.
Yeah.
And when he got selected in the prestigious National Defense Academy,
Hmm.
nobody had ever even thought. Nobody had even thought that okay, this guy can also do it. So that was, I would say, the most turning point till then. And when the readers go through the book, they would find a particular incident.
Hmm.
Even while he went for the Service Selection Board interview for the National Defense Academy, he was on the verge of rejection. Kabir has had rejections at every step, and he started loving it.
Okay.
So even there, he was, the selection panel was in the doldrum whether this guy should be taken or not,
Mm-hmm.
and he was against the traditions and against the rules. He was given a chance, another chance, a 30-second chance to prove that
Oh.
he can make it to the Indian Army. And he was asked just one simple question
Mm-hmm.
by elite panelists of senior defense personnel and senior IAS officers. So he
Okay.
was escorted to the hall and he was just asked, "What would you do if you're not selected today?" So
Hmm.
instantly Kabir said, "I know I'll get selected today." They said, "Okay, go back." And after 1 minute, the result was out. So that was the turning point, I would say.
Wonderful.
And the next turning point was when he met his love of his life, Ira. That would unfold in
Okay.
the book.
Great. So that's the confidence one should have on themselves. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. So while writing this book, or the entire journey of writing this book, so is there any funny moment, that brought smile on your face in your journey?
Yeah, the question itself is bringing a smile on my face. I was just going through the some of the chapters. I was just trying to recollect.
Okay.
The I won't say funny, but yes, they were they were not funny, but definitely I smiled at the uh, frivolity of yesteryears. You how foolish at times you are to bother too much about the mundaneness. You end up bothering too much about small little things and lose your focus on the larger picture. Kabir did that a couple of times, and now in the perspective when he thinks, he said how foolish he was. But then, as they say, all is well that ends well. All the incidents combined, uh,
Okay.
it was he enjoyed each and every, I would say, episode of his a colorful
Okay.
life. I would say, not literally, but yes, colorful with respect to challenges.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay. Okay. So apart, I mean, you being a very busy officer, sometimes being very, very like how you said, sometimes you circumstantially you're placed in such places where you just can't access anything to it.
Yeah,
So, but
yeah.
still, you made it to the writing this book and all this stuff. So, how was the experience? What kept you going? At some point of time, people usually give up. It's taking long time, and sometimes they can't just pursue what they like to do, and situations are not helping, but still something in you keeps you going. So what is that thing that kept you going?
Yes, yes. You are right. You are right. See, with respect to the professional compulsions, for us army people, the location and the profile has a big role to play. I'll give an example. Like presently, I'm talking to you on. I have all the access which you all have.
Yeah. Yeah.
But before this posting, for good about 2.5 years,
Hmm.
I had no access to internet. I had no access to mobile. I had no access to basic,
Hmm.
technical, I would say, gadgetry. It was not because we could not have,
Hmm.
but we were not supposed to have. So at times, most of the time, those are the constraints which are posed in front of us. But when you are saying that, what made you continue to go? Uh,
Hmm.
what I would say, giving up is never an option in life. Whether for a soldier or
Yeah.
whether for you, Swarna, or for anybody else, giving
True.
up is never an option. Whether it is fighting a war, whether writing a book, or whether in your own profession, but doing your achieving excellence, giving up is never an option. So
Yeah.
when you start a thing to do, it could be as mundane as uh, cleaning your room, to as serious as writing a book, or even as serious as fighting a war. uh, you have to give it a logical end. So that was the main thing. And as I said, I had written good about 7 8 years back. There were pauses, there were delays, but those delays I couldn't have avoided. So at
True.
the first opportunity when I got to give it a good shape, I thought, let me finish it now before I get another delay, another disruption in my process.
Yeah.
So as I say time and again, you can't afford to give up in life. Simple.
Exactly. So that's a beautiful message to say here. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have to catch this point. So, there are no excuses in life, no giving up in life. It's only like going forward. And yes, what Mr. Abhishek is sharing. That's absolutely wonderful. Yes. So going, yeah. Okay. So being a first-time author, did you find writing as challenging, or yeah, or ever had a writer's block? Usually, so, or it gave you an inspiration to write more.
See, as far as the roadblocks, I would say there were no major challenges. There were
Okay.
no mental or literary challenges. There were
Mm.
only procedural roadblocks, right?
Okay. Mm.
First roadblock was to finish it, as I said before. And second, I won't say roadblock, but second challenge was definitely to give it a professional shape, that is to
Yeah.
get it published. Because as a soldier, we are generally, we
Mm.
don't have much knowledge about the
Publication.
procedures involved in publishing and book and all. So there were a lot of apprehensions how to go about it. But luckily, I would say my publication house, that is Highbrow's Scribes, they were very kind enough to
Okay.
guide me uh,
Mm.
in a smooth fashion. Otherwise, I would say yes. When you are writing an article, it's a different matter. But when you're writing a book of 250, 300 pages, then you have to be particular. You have to be good at your work.
Collected. Yes.
So, yes, there were challenges with respect to what every author would have had, unless you are Shashi Tharoor, you have a
Yeah.
flowery language. So yes, initially I would never say I wasn't struggling with the story per se or the language, but
Yeah.
yes, there were apprehensions, there were self doubts with
Mm.
respect to the story, how to shape it. But yes, as I continue to flow,
Mm.
things worked it out. Simple.
One place. Yes. Wonderful on that note. So, okay. So, Abhishek as an officer or as a writer? What's your pick?
Once a soldier, always a soldier. But, but that
Wonderful.
doesn't mean a soldier cannot be anything else,
Oh,
right?
yes.
I'm an officer first. I won't say I'm an officer first. Officer is just a designation. I'm a
Yeah.
soldier first. But yes, I take pride in the fact that I'm a soldier writer who can fight with a sword and
Yeah.
also fight with a pen.
Pen.
I have a I have a bullet in my leg,
Oh,
but
yes.
I also have a pen in my hand.
Oh my goodness, that's wonderful. In fact, they say you absolutely fit into that thing. Actually, this word and also the pen, both are the powerful things in this world. You have the power of both. Wonderful.
Yes, God has been
Okay.
kind. God has
Yeah.
been kind.
Great. Okay. So yeah. So lastly, before we close this, and by the way, the book is available on Amazon, and the Kindle version is also available for you, ladies and gentlemen. So you can quickly buy your copy and go through this wonderful story, and probably you can relate the Kabir in you. So yeah, go ahead and have a happy reading of this book. Okay, and before we close, Mr. Abhishek, okay, as an army officer and as an author, and what do you want to say to this younger generation?
Yeah, it's an awesome question you have put, and it is very relevant. It's very important. I mean, since I would use this platform to convey what you're asking. Two things I've already mentioned, especially to this younger generation.
Hmm.
They're very hardworking. There's no dearth of talent. As I said, there are no excuses. They will not work in life. Wherever you are, whichever profession you are, I would just say, whatever you do in life, if I can say in Hindi, घास काटने वाला भी बनो तो best बनो. Whatever you do your best.
Yeah,
And challenges will come. Life is tough today. Competition is tough. The living conditions are tough. But you have to keep bashing on regardless. Respect every opportunity that you get. And mind it, failures are never fatal, and so is success are never final. Don't get too elated with small little successes, and don't never get bogged down with the failures. And lastly, which I would personally say as a soldier, it is okay. It is not okay, I would say. It is not okay not to be a patriotic. You have to love your country. Patriotism is not a one night stand.
yeah,
It is not a change of DP on every 26th January or 15th of August.
true.
We got to start loving our country a little more. We got to start respecting our flag and our national anthem a little more. We all know what situations we every day we watch in television.
Yeah.
Youngsters should keep themselves away from all this politics. They should just focus on their professions and focus on this lovely country. That's all I would say.
Great. So those are the awesome words from a soldier and an author. So we are absolutely delighted to have the army officer as an author to our show today. So, I absolutely love the conversation we had. The power, I can see the power in you while you're saying while you're saying this dialogues of Kabir, or your own experiences as a soldier. So that's so wonderful, so and commendable. So thank you so much for giving us your valuable time, and yeah, and I would like to thank my lovely audience who are watching us live and who are going to watch this post session as well. So this is a wonderful conversation with Mr.
Thank you,
Abhishek.
thank you so very much, Swarna, for giving me an opportunity, to present my views, not only on the book, but on life in journal. You have been an amazing host. Thank you so very much. My regards to all of you. Thank you, and Jai Hind to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.